It's like training never stops with your cashiers.
Hey, Wanda, thanks for joining us today. And so, Wanda, tell me a little bit about you. Just give me the high level of what you do at Tangmart.
Well, I've been with Johnson probably for about 15 years or more. I lost count, to be honest. I I run the store. I'm partially retired, and I run the store 3 days a week, and I actually work. The days that I'm not there, I still work. I work from home because, you're going to get phone calls or problems. Like today, I'm home, but I had to deal with some plumbing issues and had to get the plumber. But,
Mm,
and I had an interview with a young man, and he called me twice since I've been home. So it's a never ending thing, to be honest. And I know some managers don't take calls when they're off, but I never been that type of manager. I take my
mm,
calls 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, anytime in the morning. And the reason why is because, like I said before, I'd rather take care of that problem then than to walk in the morning in the store and it's a disaster. Because if my coffee maker's down at night, I don't want to go in there in the morning and customers are saying, Miss Wonder, what's wrong with your coffee makers and cups are sitting all over the place. So I rather tell them how to rinse it and clean it, even if it's at nighttime on the phone, just tell them how to do it because like I said, I rather have my coffee makers going because a lot of people come through and want their coffee in the mornings. They don't want to see that your coffee maker is not working. When you're basically it's like you promised them, fresh ground coffee, and then to get in there in the mornings and your coffee maker's down, it's not a good
mm,
thing. So that's why I take my calls at night, because I want to fix the issue before I walk in that store in the morning. So
mm,
that's exactly what I try and do. And I do a lot of hands-on training. It's like training never stops with your cashiers. People can feel like they're through training someone. It never stops. Because there's some
mm,
days that I learn things that I'll be like, oh, I didn't know I could do it that way. But training never stops with cashiers. You're gonna train them every day as long as they're working for you. It never stops because it's always something that you find out that one cashier doesn't know. And so it never stops. Like now we're doing our time mark rewards. And I decided, Jonathan gave us these little barcodes for them to scan. So I decided to print a lot of them out and cut them out because, people be like, well, I don't have time. I'm on my way to work. So I cut them all out and I give them to them. The ones that says they don't have time to scan it and, load it up on their phone so they can join the program, I give them the little barcodes to take with them. And so far, it's been pretty good because who don't want to get points to be able to buy anything in the store, right? And it's going really well. Really, it is. I mean, we gave out so many little barcodes, and people are really excited about it. And we're gonna do Appreciation Day on the 24th, and I'm looking forward to that. I really am. So I like to do stuff like that. If the weather's good, I like to be outside. I don't know why I like to be outside. I like to do stuff for the kids, like kids fun day, and give them color books and blooms and stuff. I like to do stuff like that. And I think after all the years that I've been there at the store, running that store, I always done something to give back to my customers. I always,
mm,
even if, to be honest, even if I had to take it out of my pocket to go buy blooms and knickknacks for the kids, then that's what I do. Easter, I give them candy. Halloween, I give them bags, little gift bags of Halloween candy. Um, I just like to do stuff like that. I decorate for every holiday in my store. And I think the customers likes it because if I don't put it up fast enough, they would ask me, Miss Wanda, where's your decorations for this? Or where's your So it's something that I do, and they're used to, and a lot of them will tell you, I just come just to see your decorations. But it's good. I enjoy it. I like doing it. I like doing it for them. I really do. Yeah.
mm. So what I'm hearing is tackling problems early. You've got a really strong focus on your customers. I know that to be true about you. You're every time we talk, there's some event or program that's in the works or it's already happened, and you're having success with the rewards program. But my big question, I think, for you is you've stepped back a little bit. You're still involved, obviously, but you're trying to, not be in the store as much. How are you trying to make sure that culture that you've created in that store and that attention to detail is is maintained as you're trying to step back a little bit and you're trying to keep that standard in the store with your team?
Well, um, everybody's different, and everybody's going to run the store different. And I kind of hope that they would pick up on some of the things I did when while I'm there, and because I worked with the lady for a long time, and I was her assistant manager. And if you work with somebody long, well, this is how I feel. If you work with somebody long enough, you see how they do things. Sometimes you start picking up on how they do things, and then you start doing it that way. But that's how I feel. Because I feel like when I'm training, it's like, okay, so I trained this person for 15 years, and they should start thinking a little bit like me. Well, I know Miss Wanda would like us to do it this way or that way, but I'm hoping that they will continue to carry on and treat these customers sweet. Because to be honest, I have known most of these customers, well, majority of them, for over 20 years, because a lot of them came from the city that I grew up in down the road. So I know most of them, went to school with some of them, graduated with some of them, and I love them dearly. I mean, they sweet to me, and I'm sweet to them. And I think that play a long, long role, because they'll come in, they be like, Miss Wanda, you think I can borrow $5? And some days, I know I shouldn't, but I just give them $5, because you know what? They come back the next day and be like, Miss Wanda, thank you, you was a lifesaver, da da da. But they faithful. They are very faithful customers. I have some very loyal and faithful customers. I can say that, because a lot of them, no matter how many stores you build around, down the road, up the road, I still have my customers. They still come. And right now, it's been a good thing, because like I said, we did the 12 packs, and I even went so far as to, whenever they bought a 12 pack, I would let them leave it in the cooler with their name on it, so they can come on their lunch break when they get their sandwich, and then they just say, can I get two of my drinks out the cooler? And we give them two of their drinks. I mean, sometimes you have to do a little extra step to try to keep your
Mm,
customers happy. You do. I know it
yeah.
seems like a lot to some people to say, well, I don't feel like going back there getting them drinks. I didn't really care, and my crew didn't care, because we was looking at it like, we trying to keep them happy, make them happy. Because I have customers coming there every day to get two Cokes, two Dr.
Mm.
Peppers. So I had them to buy that 12 pack, and we kept it in the cooler for them. And they come in and buy snacks, and then we let them get two of their drinks out the cooler. Yeah.
That's funny. Tell me a little bit about that. So what specifically was the promotion or
Um,
the thing that
it
you were
was
running?
it was just the 12 packs for $5.99. And
Mhm.
the regular price was $7 and something. So if you come in every day and you get two for like $1.50, so and you buying a 12 pack for $5.99, you saving yourself a little money. And plus you
Mhm.
can leave them in the cooler, and they're ice cold when you come to get your snacks on your lunch break. Then and we don't mind going to get you two of your little drinks, but we let you know how many you got left. But believe me, they was keeping up with them. They would tell you, I didn't have but two left, Miss Wanda. But that did pretty good. That did pretty good. I always said that people would want to have a cold drink, when it's a little hot out and they're on lunch break, instead of buying a hot drink, a 12 pack, and hauling it back. I even give them like some of the guys come in, and they have coolers, and they wants to get ice, and I let them get a little ice, because I have an ice machine in the back. And we don't do
Mhm.
anything with the ice machine except for we bag ice, but we can never run out, really, to be honest. So I scoop them up about 2 or 3 scoops of ice and put in their coolers. I mean, whatever I can do to help my customers that's not gonna take away from my store, then that's what I do.
as you are, because I think you're in a unique position, and I'm really interested in your perspective on this because you are in that kind of transitional period where you're still running, but you're stepping back a little bit, and you're trying to maintain that culture, and you have this really strong history with your team and with your customers. What's What's one or two things you would recommend to a manager who maybe isn't trying to get out of the store, but they're trying to step back a little bit and let go of some of the specific day-to-day stuff to try and work on maybe hiring or focus on like a few of the bigger pictures things like culture or community events, things like that. What would you recommend to a manager to try and do that, to try to step back a little bit, or try to work with their team and say, hey guys, I know I'm not going to be out in front, but I'm still doing work. There's always that concern. Oh, you're not doing anything, Wanda. You're just sitting back and we're doing all the work. Now, you may
I
not have that
think,
issue, but what would you say to that manager?
I would tell them that it's very important to communicate.
Mm,
If they communicate and trust, probably be okay. And another thing is, you have to always make sure that you have an open understanding with them. You need to tell them how important it is to do, study, treat your customers nice because you need your customers. You don't want your customers to run off somewhere else. So treat them nice, respect them, they respect you, and just be nice to them. And I mean, it's kind of hard to say, I guess, because everybody's different. And I have a lot of patience. I have a lot of patience. You have to really push my patience to the floor to get me to break. But I have a lot of patience, and I think that helps me because a lot of people wouldn't have the patience that I have dealing with, customers. Because you do have some customers, that get out of hand or be rude. But, I can deal with them, and I let my cashiers knows when they have a customer that being rude. I'll move over to them. I'm just kind of slide them out the way, and I take care of it because I seem
mm,
to have, I mean, more energy than they do because a lot of them fall apart. They can't handle the stress of somebody talking down to them and being rude or mean. But it doesn't bother me because I can say to them, listen, honey, why don't you do this or why don't we do this, and try to work it out. And usually it works. I don't really have I can't count too many customers that was ever nasty and rude to me, to be honest. I know that may sound strange, but I cannot say that I have that many customers ever come in that store and was nasty and rude to me. They have a lot of
mm,
respect for me, I must say. Not patting myself on the back, but they have a lot of respect for me. I can be in my office and I can hear them hollering for me from the front counter, And when they found out that I was partially retired, it was like, well, you just gonna partially retire, right, Miss Wanda? You're not leaving altogether. And I'm like,
mhm,
I don't think so. But to be honest, I told Jonathan, you know, t- I was really, thinking the reason why I was coming out is because my back is so bad. Okay. So
mm,
that's one of the reasons why I was coming out. I had two back surgeries. Well, my back isn't better. So I told Jonathan last week, I said, I got some news for you. I said, I have found a surgeon. And if he tells me he can fix my back, I'm going to let him fix it. And then I said, you're going to have to run me from Tamar.
mm.
So we
Wow.
just, yeah. So if I can get my back fixed, I might can hang a little bit longer. So, but if I can't, then I'll just have to just ease on and do what I'm doing. But I'm praying that I can get it fixed this go around. So we
Oh
just have
yeah.
to see. Yeah, it would be good. It would be good because I'm not ready to just sit home and do nothing because that's not me. I have worked since I was 15. I actually ran a
Mm,
little mom and pop store when I was about 16. So it's just in my
mm.
DNA, I guess. I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's DNA. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been doing it a long time. What would you, different question now, what would you say to an up and coming manager? They just got promoted from assistant and now it's on them to start running the store. What's one piece of advice you would give to them?
I would tell them to work together as a team with your crew and to treat them all fair. And don't, let me see, don't mix and match up in the, in the he say, she say stuff. You know what I'm saying? Keep it
Hmm.
strictly business and work together with them, never have a favorite, because that's the worst thing you can do is have a favorite. I don't have a favorite. They all my favorite because they all work for me and do what I need them to do, so I consider them all my favorite. I can never just choose one because it's not just one person come to work for me, help me. All my crew comes and works, so they all my favorites. So I would just say treat them all special and respect each other and treat each other the way you would want to be treated. Talk to each other the way you want to be talked to.
Mm. Words to live by. Thank you so much, Wanda,
You're
for
welcome.
jumping in here and talking to us.